Today, I will be sharing with you a little history about the Manchester Parish Library. Are you aware that the Manchester Parish Library is the oldest parish library in the island? Let's find out. In 1937, Reverend Walter L. Lewis, a Presbyterian minister, was moved to rally a group of citizens to agitate for a free public library. He felt that the library would provide core reading resources to foster literacy and develop the educational standard of the people of Manchester. Much enthusiasm and fervor was generated, and on August 1, 1938, the Manchester Free Library was officially opened by His Excellency Sir Edward Denham. This was the beacon of hope for poor Jamaicans to become educated and liberate themselves out of the grips of poverty. The success of this venture led to the establishment of free libraries in the parishes of St. Elizabeth, Portland, St. James, and St. Mary. These 5 libraries form the nucleus of the Jamaica Library Service, which was inaugurated by the government in 1948. This year, the Manchester Parish Library celebrates 82 years of sterling service to the people of Manchester.
Hi, welcome to the Manchester Parish Library, your information hub for your enrichment. I am Michelle Barnes-Peter.
And I am Andre Bursworth. Today we'll be looking at the West Indian collection housed here at the Manchester Parish Library. So come on inside and let's take a look.
Welcome to the Manchester Parish Library Reference Department, and I'm in the enclosed reference West Indian collection section. Now the West Indian collection section consists of a variety of Caribbean resources filled with knowledge of Caribbean culture and creativity. We have a variety of Caribbean books in various categories. For example, we have these home economic books, consist of information on management. We also have our traditional music such as reggae. You can get a wealth of information from that book. We have here our leader, one of our past leader, Michael Manley, The Making of a Leader. Very interesting book. There we have the Maroon story, and you can get a wealth of historical information from that book. We move on now to our traditional food from this adventure in Caribbean cuisine. You can get a number of recipes and other information from that book. And we move on to our social science. In this area, we have here the emerging Caribbean, and if you go down a little further, you will see some of our other titles. We have here the Jamaican Voice in Caribbean and World Politics. We also have higher level business and economics for Caribbean studies and our Caribbean economy. We go up here promoting our athletes. We have the Jamaican Gold, the Jamaican Sprinter, and further along we have the Black Meteors. Very interesting books and information on the Caribbean, and this is specifically track and field. Education, one of our university. This is a pictorial book, and it has a wealth of information about the University of West Indies. If you should go down further, we have other books that you can enjoy. Books on Jamaica, books on Caribbean. Also, even further down, you find other business books pertaining to the Caribbean culture and way of life. Here is a book on the slave ship, a rich historical information in that resource. We also have our traditional music again, featuring Bob Marley. And you can come across, you'll find another book on Bob Marley. You go on further, there is Leonie, an autobiography of Leonie. And of course, Seasons of Dance. Those lovers of dance, a wealth of information is in this book. The story of Jamaican dance theatre. In this section, you have books such as The Jamaican Talk, the Dictionary of Jamaican English. You also have Exploring the Boundaries of the Caribbean. And further on, you have in display a current Caribbean atlas being displayed there. Another title. There we have the African Sites Archaeology in Caribbean book. Move on further. You have the African Jamaican Music, Dance, Religion. And there's a wealth of information that you can get from that resource. Move further. You also have Emancipation to Immigration. Rich information on Caribbean history. You also have another book on display here, Jamaican Arts, and Then and Now.
Welcome to another section of our West Indian collection. Here we have our Heritage Village. For this exhibition, we highlight for this month of our independence in the month of August and emancipation. This exhibition speaks about slave rebellions, the abolition of slavery, and what led up to emancipation and independence in Jamaica. It touches on subjects such as the Christmas Rebellion of 1831, the transatlantic slave trade, Jamaica's heritage in dance and music, various aspects of Jamaican cuisine are also highlighted. Our national symbols, the governance of the English, the Spanish, and the formation of the Jamaican Constitution. In this section, we also highlight various books. We have many books in our West Indian collection, but some that we would wish to focus on is Daddy Sharp, a narrative of the life and adventures of Samuel Sharp, which gives a first-hand account of the life of Samuel Sharp. The Jamaican Theatre, highlights of the performing arts in the 20th century, written by Wycliffe Bennett and Hazel Bennett. Here we have a very comprehensive history book titled The Story of the Jamaican People, written by Philip Sherlock and Hazel Bennett. It chronicles the history, especially of the African people in Jamaica and their experience through racial injustices, racial subjugation, and the fight for freedom throughout history. In it you'll find stories on slaves such as Cujo and Taki, and although it focuses mainly on the history of African people within Jamaica, it also touches on the history of different ethnic groups in Jamaica, such as the Indians, the Chinese, the Jews, the Spanish, and Lebanese. Right below that, we have Rural Gumption, written by Herbert J. Thompson, which is a chronicle of the life, struggles, and successes of a determined dreamer. He was also the past president of Northern Caribbean University. A delightful read. Moving on to another section of our West Indian collection, we have here in the Adult Library an exhibition on the life of Norman Manley, the defender of the people. In this exhibition, we highlight various aspects of his legacy and contribution to Jamaican culture and nation building. This exhibition was done in commemoration of his birth, and he was born on July 4th in 1893 in Roxborough, here in the parish of Manchester. He was born to Thomas Manley and Margaret Ann.
We are at the open shelf West Indian collection, and these books can be borrowed for home reading. There are two sections or categories. You have the informational and the fiction section. And remember, in order to borrow books for home reading, you must become a registered member of the library, which is free of cost. As you can see, we have a variety of storybooks, and there they are. Now you're seeing some of your favorites. So there is Claude McKay, Banana Bottom, a very interesting novel. A number of interesting fiction books. Here we have Escape to Falmouth, and this is written by Lena Joy Rose. Another book, Till I'm Laid to Rest, by Garfield Ellis. Very interesting. We have The Beast of Kukua, Further and The Murder in Montego Bay, and one of our prominent authors, Anthony Wilkler, who wrote The Duck. This is a special feature of our Jamaican folklorist, writer and artist, and the mother of Jamaican culture, the Honorable Louise Bennett Coverley, otherwise called Miss Lou. This mural of Miss Lou was created in memory of her 100-year celebration from September 7th, 1919 to July 26, 2006. The display highlights her 50 years of radio and stage as well as television. She had written several books. This is a special feature of our Jamaican folklorist, writer and artist, and the mother of Jamaican culture, the Honorable Louise Bennett Coverley, otherwise called Miss Lou. This mural of Miss Lou was created in memory of her 100-year celebration from September 7th, 1919 to July 26, 2006. The display highlights her 50 years of radio and stage as well as television. She had written several books. Her first book, entitled Jamaica Lavish, was written in 1942. Other books written by Miss Lou include Selected Poets. We have Anansi and Miss Lou. Further along, we have Auntie Rochi Said.
So moving on from the adult West Indian collection, we come to the junior West Indian collection. In the reference junior collection, we have various books on the Caribbean islands. For example, we have Caribbean Islands Facts and Figures by Romel Hernandez, the Windward Islands, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Martinique and Dominica, the Leeward Islands, featuring the countries of Anguilla, St. Martin, St. Bart's, St. Eustatius, Guadeloupe, St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, and Montserrat. Moving on from those books, we also have books on various influential and historic figures in the Caribbean history. For example, we have a book here on Fidel Castro, who was influential in the Cuban Revolution, Marcus Garvey and the Back to Africa movement, Brian Lara, who was a famous West Indian cricketer. We also try to include classical books from famous Caribbean authors. Here we have by V.S. Naipaul, Miguel Street. V.S. Naipaul is also a Nobel Prize winner in the category of literature for Caribbean literature. The Junior West Indian collection would not be complete without the tales of Anansi. Here we have the illustrated Anansi by Philip Sherlock, Anansicism, a collection of folk tales, legends, and poems for juniors. We also have history books on various countries in the Caribbean and also Jamaica itself. Here we are featuring A History of Jamaica by Clinton V. Black, a book I remember using in high school history classes, and Jamaica Genesis, Religion and Politics of Moral Orders by Diane J. Austin Bruce. Similar to the adult West Indian collection, we also have our Miss Louise Bennett collection. We have her selected poems, Jamaica Labrish, and Auntie Rochise. Yearly, in our national reading competition in our junior category, we try to expose our competitors to various books written by Caribbean authors. In last year's competitions, we had Secrets of Oscaros, The Protector's Pledge by Daniel MacLean, who is a Trinidadian author. The book takes place in Trinidad and is of the fantasy genre. A Dark Iris, which is a coming-of-age tale written by Elizabeth J. Jones, and she is a Bermudan author. The Dark of the Sea, written by Iman Baksh, and he is a Guyanese, and the book takes place in Guyana. All three books feature a bit of fantasy and mythology. All three books are also winners of the Caribbean Award for Literature. So we expose our students, our competitors, to the best of the best when it comes to Caribbean writing. So a question based on the junior collection: which author or Jamaican author is the writer of the book The Young Warriors? Here in the junior department, we also feature, as a part of our West Indian collection, an exhibition on Robert Nesta Marley. The title of this exhibition is Celebrating the Iconic Robert Nesta Marley. This exhibition and the information therein was tailored to adapt to the understanding of our juniors. The information presented in this exhibition summarizes the life and legacy and the contribution of Bob Marley to Jamaica's culture, music, and heritage. So a question based on this section: Bob Marley was known as the King of Reggae, who in Jamaica is known as the Crown Prince of Reggae. The department also features various trending athletes. Here we have various Olympians and world champions in Jamaica. We have Elaine Thompson, Usain Bolt, Asafa Howell, and Shillian Fraser Price. Thank you for joining us on our tour of the West Indian collection housed here at the Manchester Parish Library.
We invite you to visit our library and utilize our enriched collection.
join us on our mission as we continue transforming lives and empowering communities.
Welcome to the Manchester Parish Library Primary Exit Profile, or PEP Language Arts Center. Hi, I am Michelle Barnes-Peter, Senior Librarian at the Manchester Parish Library. Our PEP Center started as an initiative between the Manchester Parish Library Network and the Ministry of Education Region 5 Literacy Team. The PEP Center was established to assist the students from the grade 4 to grade 6 level. We wanted to assist them in doing research so that they can develop their research skills and their analytical skills. In the PEP Center, we have several sections. We have our math section that focuses on the 5E lesson, for example, engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. We also have other charts and our detective or math detective area. It helps them to explore as they calculate and learn. Then we have this fraction section in the form of a game. So while they're having fun, they are actually learning. And we also have the language section. And one of our member of staff, Mr. Andrew Beresford, he is going to elaborate further about those areas.
Hello, welcome to our language and literacy section of our PEP Corner. So language and literacy is the area that the library is strongest in, and basically we focus on helping or providing supplementary materials to parents, teachers, and students who are getting ready to help their children to prepare for the primary exit profile examinations. So we start off with grade 4, and some of the categories or areas that we focus on that we have books on are the senses, landscape, the culture, the water cycle, the weather, and we have various models here where we go further in depth into providing accurate details about our weather systems and our various cycles and natural patterns that we have going on in the environment. We move on to grade 5, where we talk about topics such as forces and machines, the environment, nutrition, Jamaica, its history and governance, and we further go on to grade 6, where we talk about topics that have to deal with science, the digestive system, the human body, the process of living things, Jamaica, its independence, and people and forms of energy. So we try to go in depth about capturing various aspects of the Jamaican culture and all its areas. So we have various charts that go further in detail about various parts of the human body, like human heart, and we also provide study tips in the PEP Corner to help students, to aid them in studying, and we also have a brochure where we talk about the teaching practices and shift classroom practice to look for, and this was provided by the Ministry of Youth and Information. And we also have mathematical tips, practices, and students should look for when they're practicing mathematics. And our whole aim of the PEP Corner, or theme that we stand behind, is play, learn, and grow together.
So, teachers and students, come on over and make every use of our PEP Center at the Manchester Parish Library. Remember now, you can utilize as many of our books and you can borrow books for home reading, but you must become a registered member of the library, which is free of cost and a very simple process. So come along and enjoy our PEP Center at the Manchester Parish Library as we transform lives and empower communities.
My name is Sheldon Robinson, and today we're at the Manchester Parish Library where I'll be conducting a Vox Pop where I'll be asking the public a few questions to get their views on these topics. Miss, our question for the day is, do you think they should rename Columbus Park in Discovery Bay given that it glorifies the man who was responsible for the killing of the Taínos, and why?
Yes.
Yes, why do you think they should rename the park?
Because to love her fighting, I think we should name something based off someone like that. So, yeah, change it.
Okay. Miss, and the second question that I'm going to give to you, do you think that they should remove the stories of Annie Palmer from the books of history, given that she was a slave owner, and why?
No. People deserve to know the history. So, I guess they should keep that one there.
Okay, so you say keep Annie Palmer and remove Columbus.
And really, most definitely.
Thank you.
Alright.
Miss, I'm going to pose a question to you today. Do you think they should remove Annie Palmer's stories from the books of history, given that she was a slave owner, and why do you think, if you say they should?
No, I don't think they should remove the stories of Annie Palmer from the books of history. Reason being, as Jamaicans, we need to know that part of our history to understand where we're coming from, so that we know that we don't want to return to that point.
Okay, wow, strong views. And my second question to you is, do you think they should rename Columbus Park in Discovery Bay St. Anne, given that it glorifies the man who was responsible for the killing of the Taínos, and why?
Yes, I do believe they should rename that. Well, having someone in the books as a part of history is different from actually glorifying someone that participated in our demise. So I would say yes, rename it, because there are a lot of persons who positively contributed to Jamaica's culture who are not glorified in the country at all.
True, those are some strong views. Thank you, Miss. Thank you. Question for the day. Do you think they should remove Annie Palmer's stories from the history books, given that she was a slave owner, and why?
No. But no, I believe it's a part of our history because we grew up and hearing about Annie Palmer and how she used to be a cruel lady to her ancestors or whatever.
Right.
So it's something to our younger ones to come up and know, say as well as how we know it.
That's true. Strong answers. Thank you, sir.
Alright.
Okay, thanks. Question for the day is, do you think that they should rename Columbus Park in Discovery Bay, given that it glorifies the man who was responsible for the killing of the Taínos, and why?
Honestly, I think it should have never been named Columbus Park in the first place, for the reason of the latter part of your question. Because I think that even though we should acknowledge our history, we shouldn't be celebrating and naming places after people who contributed to the degradation and genocide of the people.
Right, thank you. That's some strong views there. Thank you, Miss. Sir, question for the day. Do you think they should remove Annie Palmer from the books of history, given that she was a slave owner, and why?
They're supposed to.
You think they should? Why?
Because she's not really a good white black woman. She want
No,
people.
she never black.
White?
Yes.
And want people is like to work for her, take people for slavery. You know,
They
tell
said
me-
they should remove her there.
Yes, sir. And some thought, she said to people, it's not a good thought.
Okay.
I was talking,
Okay, thanks
I would like to
for
read
your
her story now.
Yes, you should.
So how could I get one of those books?
You can visit the Manchester Parish Library. We have books there on our history, and we have the computer room there that you can go online and find the information. Yes. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Make sure. Here is your dinner. It's a
Thank you.
surprise.
Okay,
That's
thanks. Everyone,
Oregon people.
my name is Sheldon Robinson.
I'm Parish Campbell.
And we're from the Manchester Parish Library, and we're at the Manchester Shopping Centre doing a box pop.
Basically, we'll be going around and asking people some really informative questions about Jamaica's history. We'll be asking them heritage-based questions and, you know, a few others. Follow us.
Miss, question for today: do you think they should remove Annie Palmer's stories from the history books, given that she was a slave owner, and why?
Yes, I believe that we should remove her because she has helped to encapsulate more people in Jamaica, and it has helped us to be enslaved for a really long time.
So you say they should remove it. Okay, thank you.
Tell us two things from each ethnic group, what they brought to Jamaica and how it improved our lives.
Okay, so Chinese brought us rice and noodles. The Africans brought us the dance, so Kumina and John, and Indians brought us curry.
Good day, sir. Question for today: do you think they should rename Columbus Park, given that the man that he glorified was responsible for the killing of the Taínos? Do you think they should rename the park?
So Christopher Columbus killed the Taínos then?
Yes, he was responsible for the killing of the Taínos.
No, they don't give him female name. They don't give part that Christopher Columbus name.
Oh, so yes,
either Chris Gale or Usain Bolt or Shellyan.
Right.
One of them, yeah.
So
Or Ilian Thompson, Nesta Carter. Yeah.
Okay, so remove that name instead.
Yes, because the dead man, he can't tell nothing I know, and know what going on.
Somebody living.
Dead. Somebody alive.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, and have a good day.
Same to you. Sir, the question for today: do you think that the Annie Palmer story should be removed from history books, given that she was a slave owner, and why?
To me, as I said, the past is a part of history that too many of us have paid too much attention to.
Right.
What should matter to us in today, 21st century, is the future. Whatever the ills are yesteryear, it does not excuse the ills of today. So to me, it's neither here or there if they change it. About black future, that's what I'm into.
Okay, sir.
You know?
Alright, thank you.
Alright, yeah.
Ready?
Hi everyone.
Oregon people.
My name is Sheldon Robinson.
And I'm Parish Campbell.
And today we're at the Cecil Charlton Park.
And today we're just doing day 2 of our questionnaire. As you can see, we're in a lovely scenery, so we need some lovely people.
Good day, sir. Question for today: do you think they should change Jamaica's national dish, and why?
Well, national dish for Jamaica, I realize that ackee and saltfish tastes good, but the saltfish is not from Jamaica.
Oh,
so we have to include another country food to make our national dish.
Okay.
So what I would require, they can look into something else that will fit in with a Jamaican thing and not an item from another country. Reason being, if you look at the other countries, they have a full package of their own country thing to make the national dish. So why using something from another country each time? If we should, for instance, if we should have a continuous lock-off from another country, we would run out of our full national dish. Because if you notice that the corona has locked off a lot of things from us. And to let the national dish continue, we would have to wait until the borders open.
That's true.
So they need to look into something.
Ackee is fine, but the saltfish is not from here.
No, it's not from here. So they can look into that. Well, maybe I don't have the answer to the right thing to replace now, but there must be something that can replace.
Okay.
And I would like to know that sometime in the future I can look into that and say, yes, this is a good thing.
Okay, thank you, sir. Alright, good day, sir. Question for today: what are your views on changing the national dish, and what would you change it to?
I would change it to Vietnam mackerel.
Why?
Because it's easier to cook and not take that long and so.
Okay, thank you, sir. Question for today: what do you think about the child that was barred from school because of her hairstyle?
Well, I think it was highly racist, being that we are Jamaican, and Jamaican roots is for them long nappy hair, them dark nappy hair, but June, most of our institution ruled by the Queen, under the Queen's crown, we can't really go by our own law because, as you can see, we kind of stifle our own tradition for output the Caucasian tradition, and then more for push out the Caucasian tradition in our school because they don't teach us our history, they teach them white people history. Most of our history are ours, so by banning your locks, you ban the child bloodline. And bloodline I'm roots, I'm here. So once you tell him, say, oh, you cannot wear hair like that, it's like you say, don't like your black nappy hair, I don't like your melanin. You cannot strip part-time identity from him. And if the school himself has stripped with identity, I know nothing for you really go in the store and say, hey, buy the Brazilian hair because the Brazilian hair look closer to white and want to look white. So it's easier for the school promote Caucasian look, Brazilian look, or even the Spanish look, but not your own African look. That's why when you see people in the beads or the braids, they kind of look like we, but the long pretty hair are them white looking hair and a fool. So when the school are going to say, hey, hide your ethnic group, hide your background, hide your culture, lost your culture, it's like them try to wash we down. And when the school push it out more and more dangerous than the people, the media or the street.
There you have it, the views of the people.
This ends our Vox Pop. What do you think? Until next time.